Hello, this is Ben Hearn. I am a realtor and I'm going to do another market watch activity report for all of Wynnewood for the month of November. I did one of these in October, and just like in October, I have it separated Wynnewood and then Penn Wynne, just because there's a lot of homes and it gets a little noisy. So I thought it best just to keep them a little separate. And I only have like single family homes. I don't have condos in here. And I'm going to share a screen and kind of go through this market watch collection. I'll have a link for this in the email. Everything I do in this video, you can also do. So it's super interactive, and you can share that link with anyone you want as well. And before we get started with that, I'm actually going to show you just the real estate trends for for like the last year and a half in Wynnewood. And we can see here, Wynnewood, this goes back to July 2020. So it picked up a lot like last October. Somewhat surprising, actually, because normally like springtime is the busiest time for us realtors and real estate in general. It died a lot in the winter, which just always happens. And right here, orange is closed sales, light blue is new pendings, and dark blue are new listings. So you can see that it picked back up like late June. Actually, there's a lot more new listings. Again, the pandemic kind of threw everything off. You would probably expect that like earlier in the spring. And you can see it was pretty steady. October dipped off. There were only 15 new listings, 17 new pendings, and then 21 closed. November, as you'll see, there weren't that much either. And probably going to be a similar story in the winter. I guess people just hate the cold. So I'm now going to be showing that market watch with you. Oops. So this market watch, again, you can do everything that I do on this video with it. And I'm just going to briefly show the actives and the pendings, and then I'm going to we can go through the closed ones. So again, this only has homes that were active like from November, or who had a price up in November, or went under contract in November. If a home had been active in October, or they went under contract in October and nothing changed, it won't show up in this report. So the actives from November and or price drops, we've got Argyle Road right here, Remington, Argyle. Another one on Remington, that new build on Clother. Drayton was like on and off the market, and then now it's under contract. And there's a couple more. Remington, that's the last active. Loves Lane just went under contract. 111, I'm sorry. Yeah, Cherry Lane, that's pending. So under contract and pending are synonymous. Pending just means it's like usually further along in the transaction. So if there are inspections or something, usually us realtors will, once we accept a contract, we list it as active under contract. Then when you get through those inspections, just because things can go south, once you're through it successfully, then you switch it to pending. And that kind of lets everyone know, like, hey, this deal has a higher likelihood of going to the finish line. Things can always happen at the end, finance or other stuff can happen. We have a couple more pendings, those ones on Fairhill. Now we have the closed homes. So again, I'll click through some of these, and everything I do, you can also do. So you can click it. It shows you some quick stats here. Then it shows you like days on market. That's a huge, indicator of whether a home, how high it's sold for. The higher the amount of days on market, usually the lower that it sold for. So we can see that this sold 16.7% below asking. So it was listed for 800 something. And that closed on the 12th. 121 Old Goff, that also closed below asking. So even though this market has been insane this year, which it truly has, homes don't always automatically sell over. If it's a nice like cream puff home that's priced really well, then yeah, that probably is going to go over, and it probably will last just a couple of days on the market. But not every home is like that. Argyle Road, this one also closed below asking, 5%. So again, all this stuff, you can go through pictures. You can check out the property histories. So for the next one, Wingate, sold for $995. And so that I get, like, if we go to the property history, so you can see it was listed for $995. Then it had a lot of action, and then it closed for $995. Foxglove, that had to be above. So that was 4.6% above asking, and that only lasted 4 days on the market. So we don't know whether when a home's pending or under contract, whatever price that has, that's not like the actual final price. We don't know the actual final price until it closes and it goes on public records. But if a home goes under contract within a couple of days, you can, usually guess that it's going to be above asking. So if we check out the property history here, we can see that it was listed for $975, and it closed for a little over $1. Red Leaf Road, that actually closed late October. Not sure how it snuck in here, but it did. And that sold just below asking, 12 days on the market. So yeah, that seems about right. This one on Clothier, again, let's see, that was 1 day, sold 6% below asking. So even, again, I have buyers who think like, oh, should we not offer like whatever amount because it's not what the sellers are asking for? It's like, no, if you have an offer, just always send it in. It doesn't hurt, just a little more paperwork. Sometimes sellers, for one reason or other, they'll accept an offer. Maybe they're in a rush or they need the money, who knows? So that was Wynnewood. Now we're gonna switch it over to Penn Wynne. And real quick for Penn Wynne, there were actually a couple homes just yesterday. So I'm doing this video on the 2nd. And there were 2 homes that closed yesterday. So I wanted to quickly give them a shout out. 249 Trent Road, you can see it closed yesterday, the first for $363. And then 1466 Hampstead, that closed for $421 and $1. Now we'll get to the Penn Wynne. So there's not too many actives that came up in November. There's the one on Powder Mill. That's listed for $599, 3-bed, 3-bath. And scroll through all the pics. There's one on Beechwood right there for $500. Again, you can just scroll through pictures. Then Manoa, that one under contract, $539. Right there under contract. Hereford Ave, that one under contract. And again, I'm just clicking this as an example. So you could even do like property info on here, and I'll shoot you straight to the beds, schools, which everyone loves, tax, utilities, square footage. And so this is important that sometimes homes, it looks like it's like, let's say 2,500 square feet, but that includes the above ground square foot and the below ground square foot. So it is important to actually see like which square footage is above ground and which is below. Because if you think of like a 2,500 square foot home, and then you go into one that is only 2,000 square foot, that's my dog, it's a big difference. Sorry about that. She usually doesn't bark. And so that was Manoa, Haverford, Rockland Road under contract as well. Henley is pending. Pending right here, pending. Now we get to the closed one. So 238 Harrogate Road. That closed for 5.6 below asking. That was on the market for 57 days. So again, that's pretty consistent with the longer it's on the market, the less likelihood it is of closing at purchase price. I'm sorry, the list price. Overbrook Parkway, 570. And that was 1.8% above asking, went in a week. Cliff Road, basically 700. Closed in 5 days. And I think they just hit it right on the money. Yeah, so as I said, it's basically 700. That one looked, so these pictures are smaller. You can if you click on it, and then if you click on view all, it has more of the pictures like in a larger size. I just don't do that right now because it's hard to exit with the shared screen. But anyway, that home was gorgeous. 1407 Dorset closed just at the end of the month, a couple of days ago, and that was 11% below asking. So yeah, once again, we see like this market's super hot and crazy, but homes don't automatically close above asking. Two more here. Crest, that was, you get the devil, 11% above asking. So again, if it's the right kind of home with the right kind of price, it can go. So that was listed at 545. And sometimes just particular buyer falls in love with the home, and if it's multiple bid, they can do something called an escalation clause, which is a whole nother story, or they just throw out a crazy number because they want it. And then the last one was 21 Overbrook Parkway, which closed for 600 on the dot. And again, that closed at the end of the month. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That was it for the month of November for all of Wynnewood. And if you, again, I'll have a link for both of those collections. That link is shareable too. So if you have friends or family that are interested in the real estate activity in the area, you can share that with them. If you want to know what's going on with like any other town, like, you know, Narberth or I don't know, Media or Royersford, anywhere, I can, as long as it's like in our MLS, I can do one of these for you and send you that info as well. And the middle of the month, again, we'll have stats that show like all the, you know, average price and median price and all that stuff. And I can share that with you as well. And finally, if you are, you know, if you have a real estate question or opinion or are thinking of moving or selling and, you know, don't really know where to start, I would be happy to help. Just be a resource even, that's fine. And if you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would help me out. If you don't, you know, obviously that's fine. And that's it. All right, I hope you enjoyed it.